Leave when you can. That's the message from Nigeria to its citizens who reside in South Africa. Xenophobic violence has recently surged, and the UNHCR says at least 62 foreign nationals have been killed between January and May.
After you marched and say you don't want Zimbabweans, you don't want Nigerians, you don't want Ghanaians, you close shops, you march. Why are you not coming back to tell us the following day that after that march, we expelled 10 Zimbabweans, and out of those 10 Zimbabweans, we're able to give 10 South Africans jobs? There is no such a report.
Welcome to the flip side. The numbers say it all. South Africa's unemployment rate remains stubbornly high. In fact, a 2020 Afrobarometer survey found nearly half of South Africans don't want foreigners to work in the country, blaming them for taking jobs.
If you can look at the capitalist system that we currently live in, where employers feel that they want to milk everything for themselves, foreigners are making that situation worse, because when South Africans are demanding the minimum wage, they come and offer themselves at a very cheap price.
So we are trying to remove these foreign nationals from these normal jobs that are supposed to be taken by South Africans, and we replace them with local people, because that's what we believe in.
So, does kicking out the foreigners solve South Africa's job crisis?
Migration has become the visible explanation for invisible problems. When we have a country with 40% of unemployed people, that is a structural issue. Governance failure. So these are not being fixed. But migrants, by contrast, are visible and immediate. So then they become the explanation, or an easier plot of people to be blamed.
And that pent-up frustration explodes into violence. The past isn't far behind. In 2008, 2015 and 2019, waves of xenophobic attacks killed dozens and forced thousands to flee, straining regional ties.
South Africa has seen the fact that a lot of migration into the country has caused a lot of tension with the locals, with the indigents of South Africa, against, I would say, particularly Africans themselves, African immigrants. South Africa has not recognized, I believe, enough the contribution of West Africans, especially Nigeria, in its struggle.
Inasmuch as violence is not a solution to any problem, some observers point out that not all foreigners seem to be targeted.
I saw a video whereby black immigrants were being attacked, beaten up, and a couple of Asians just walked by. They were not targeted.
And as they say, numbers don't lie.
So we have over 15 million who are unemployed, but we have these 2 million migrants, or 3 or 4, even if you want to take the number high and say we have 4 or 5 million. You cannot use that to explain why 15 million are unemployed.
So why is South Africa, one of Africa's economic giants, struggling to create jobs for its people?
The economy has struggled to generate inclusive growth. So large populations are outside formal employment. The apartheid regime left power, but there was no reparation. We still have large portions of land in the hands of the white people. And when you own land, you own food, you own the chain of survival. Governance and institutional failure. Nothing will happen until institutions are strengthened to do what they need to do.
What must South Africa do to fix such a broken system?
We have to start strengthening labor migration governance, invest in local economic systems, because that's where a majority of South Africans are sitting. And finally, I would say, restore state presence. The state must be felt by all people, because everyone within the state has to be felt that they're being protected. South Africans have their own, they feel that the government has abandoned them. And so they're taking matters in their own hands.
Turning on migrants might offer a quick scapegoat, but it won't solve South Africa's economic crisis. Until the real challenges of inequality, governance, and an inclusive economy are addressed, unemployment will remain stubbornly high and tensions will keep resurfacing. And that's the flip side.